Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Ukraine continues to advance deeper into Russia's Kursk region. US calls Ukraine incursion a real dilemma for Putin. As tension escalates, Israel issues new evacuation orders for southern Gaza. Meanwhile, US approves more than $20 billion of weapon sales to Israel. Judgment day for Thailand Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin as court rules on dismissal case. India's resident doctors call off strike after assurance from government on safety demands, while the investigative agency CBI takes over probe into Kolkata doctor's rape murder case. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that his troops now control 74 settlements in Russia's Kursk region. This comes after a week-long Ukrainian assault into Russia that Kyiv says is about forcing Moscow into making peace. Also, Russia says it has stopped Ukrainian armored mobile groups from moving deeper into Russia near the Kursk settlements. DD India correspondent Megumi Lim gets us more from Kyiv.
Ukraine's commander-in-chief Alexander Syrskyi said on Tuesday his forces had captured an additional 40 square kilometers into Russian territory over the past 24 hours. This could mean that Ukrainian troops now may control more than 1,000 square kilometers of land inside Russia's Kursk region. President Zelensky said earlier the territory that was captured was used by Russian forces to carry out cross-border strikes against Ukraine's Sumy region. He added that in this month alone, the Sumy region had been targeted more than 2,000 times by Russian missiles, rockets, drones and mortars. Russia's defense ministry said it has now stopped attempts by Ukrainian forces to advance deeper into their territory. Although Ukraine has been tight-lipped about its goals in the Kursk region, a foreign ministry spokesperson said on Tuesday that the operation was about preventing Russia from sending in more reinforcements to Ukraine's eastern front, where Russian forces have been making steady gains, specifically towards Pokrovsk, a key Ukrainian military stronghold. But fighting has not relented there. The Ukrainian military said Russian forces had stepped up their attacks in that sector. There were reportedly 52 battles on the Pokrovsk front over a 24-hour period, an increase from the average 28 to 42 battles a day. It remains to be seen whether or not the impact of the assault will bring some or any relief to Ukrainian soldiers fighting in Ukraine's east. Megumi Lim in Kyiv reporting for DD India.
Reiterating that US officials are in constant touch with the Ukrainians, US President Joe Biden said that Ukraine's military incursion into Russia has created a real dilemma for Russian President Putin. About 1,000 Ukrainian troops ramped through the Russian border in the early hours of August 6 with tanks and armored vehicles. Answering questions from reporters upon arrival in New Orleans, Biden said that he has been briefed every 4 to 5 hours for the last 6 to 8 days on Ukraine's action. The US has provided billions of dollars of weaponry to Ukraine intended largely for defensive purposes as Ukraine tries to repel the Russian invasion launched in February 2022. Biden in May authorized Kyiv to launch US-supplied weapons at military targets inside Russia that are supporting an offensive against the northeastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv. As the tension escalates in West Asia, the Israeli military on Tuesday issued new evacuation orders for southern Gaza. The Israeli military has ordered people living in more areas of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza to immediately evacuate as it prepares to act forcefully. The Israeli military spokesperson has released an updated version of the color-coded map of Gaza that orders the evacuation of more blocks designated by the Israeli military. The United States on Tuesday approved the sale of $20 billion in fighter jets and other military equipment to Israel. The Pentagon in a statement said that the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has approved the sale of military equipment, including fighter jets, tank cartridges, explosive mortar cartridges and army vehicles to Israel. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, in a post on social media platform X, thanked U.S. officials for helping Israel maintain its qualitative military edge in the region and the U.S. commitment to Israel's security. Earlier this week, Washington released $3.5 billion to Israel to spend on U.S. weapons and military equipment in line with Congress legislation. Diplomatic efforts are in overdrive to try and bring tensions down in the Middle East amid fears that Iran could carry out a strike on Israel as early as this week. Some of the U.S. president's top officials are now on ground in a bid to avert a large-scale regional war. Sarah Coates gets us more from Tel Aviv.
An extremely dangerous time in the region as Israelis brace for this anticipated, promised Iranian attack in the wake of the assassination of the head of Hamas's Politburo, Ismail Haniyeh, which Tehran blames on Israel, despite Israel not coming out to claim it. Now, over the past day, Hamas has actually fired a rocket into the center of Israel right here in Tel Aviv, that long-range missile actually falling in the sea just behind me. Now, as we go to where diplomacy is in overdrive, Amos Hochstein, a senior U.S. advisor, he is in Beirut, the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Israel, and also there's Brett McGurk in Egypt ahead of these key peace talks happening on Thursday, as these diplomats and these key negotiators really try and get this deal across the table for a ceasefire and a release of these Israeli hostages in a bid to try and diffuse tensions. Now, it does remain unclear as to whether Hamas will actually be sending a delegation. It previously said it wouldn't, but there is a lot of pressure from these key mediators like the Egyptians for the group to actually send some of its members to sit down at the table and try to make a deal with Israel. But once again, certainly a very dangerous time in the region. Still no change in directive from the Israeli military, although what we are being told is to know where a shelter is that would be close by. Sarah Coates in Tel Aviv for DD India.
Thailand's Constitutional Court is set to decide the fate of Prime Minister Srettha in a ruling that could see him dismissed after less than a year in office and plunge the country into deeper political uncertainty. Sretha, the real estate tycoon with no background in politics, is the subject of a complaint from ex-senators appointed by former military government who say that he violated the constitution when he gave a cabinet post to a former lawyer who was once jailed. If Sretha is removed, the fifth 500-seat parliament must convene to choose a new prime minister, with the prospect of more upheaval in a country dogged for 2 decades by coup and court rulings that have brought down multiple governments and political parties. The Greek government says a dangerous wildfire that broke out on the outskirts of Athens has been turned into scattered hotspots. According to reports, the body of a 64-year-old woman was discovered in a factory in the northern suburbs of the Greek capital on Tuesday. DD India's correspondent Giles Gibson from Rome reports more on the relief efforts.
Hundreds of firefighters have spent the last few days battling the most intense wildfire that Greece has seen so far this summer. After an official request from the Greek government to the European Union, additional resources have also been sent by nearby countries. So France, Italy, Serbia and several other neighbouring countries have sent a mixture of planes, helicopters and crews of firefighters to help their Greek colleagues on the ground. Meanwhile, the European Commission has also said that its strategy over the last few years or so has been to try to anticipate where extra resources will be needed during wildfire season in the summer.
Even before the Greek government formulated any request for additional assistance, our pre-positioned firefighters had already been on the ground, moved to the Attica region, contributing to the efforts on the ground along with the local first responders. So this is something that we've been doing for 3 years now, pre-positioning firefighters in countries or in areas where we think forest fires are highly likely, and Greece is of course one of these countries.
This fire first broke out in a place called Varnavas, which is a village about 30 kilometres to the north of the Greek capital. And in the immediate hours after the fire broke out, strong winds in the area helped to whip up the flames and actually spread the fire to other areas, with eyewitnesses reporting flames as high as 25 metres. Those winds did then drop in the next couple of days, which helped firefighters as they were trying to get the blaze under control. However, temperatures are set to remain extremely high in that area over the next few days or so, with forecasters predicting a high of 38 degrees Celsius in the Greek capital on Wednesday. And forecasters are also saying that those winds, those strong winds, could return once again, so local authorities are remaining on very high alert. Giles Gibson in Rome reporting for DD India.
All right, let's get to other stories. In a major development in the case of gruesome rape and murder of Kolkata's junior doctor on August 9th, Calcutta's High Court has transferred the case to the CBI following nationwide protests of the doctors. The agency promptly completed all necessary formalities within hours of the Calcutta High Court's order, instructing the state police to transfer the case documents to the Central Probe Agency. A team of CBI officials from Delhi, along with forensic scientists and medical experts, will visit Kolkata on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Federation of Resident Doctors Association called off its strike after meeting Union Minister J.P. Nadda. Moreover, as part of the directions of Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda, the National Medical Commission has issued an advisory for all medical colleges and institutions for ensuring safe workplace environment. The members of the Election Commission of India will meet Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla on Wednesday to review the security situation in Jammu and Kashmir, where assembly elections are expected soon. Recently, a delegation of the Election Commission led by Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar reviewed the election preparations in Jammu and Kashmir. During a press conference in Jammu, the Chief Election Commissioner emphasized that the Election Commission is committed to holding elections in the Union Territory as soon as possible. No external or internal forces can derail the electoral process. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. But after the break, we bring you reports as India is set to celebrate its 78th Independence Day, marking a significant milestone in the nation's history. Good news from the economic front. India's direct tax collections surge. Wait continues for Vinesh Phogat as the Court of Arbitration once again extends the verdict.
We have with us a very special guest, Olympic bronze medalist Swapnil Kusale. When we talk about you and your journey from TTE to an Olympic bronze medalist,
journey is quite long and lots of challenges I faced, but it's a good journey for me till now, so I'm happy.
You got a call from Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
He called and say Namaskar Bhau, kaise aap, like in Marathi language, so it was good to hear that.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's continue getting you more updates. India's President Draupadi Murmu will address the nation today on the eve of 78th Independence Day. The speech will be broadcast today at 7 p.m. IST across the entire network of Akashvani and Doordarshan channels. The President's address will initially be aired in Hindi, followed by an English version. During this, regional language broadcast will be presented by Doordarshan's regional channels, ensuring the message reaches a diverse audience across the country. Additionally, Akashvani will broadcast the regional language versions at 9:30 p.m. on its respective regional networks. India has built a collection of public-facing digital platforms that have transformed its citizens' lives in the last 1 decade. India's digital growth is now emerging as a global hub for digital transformation that fosters economic empowerment and drives positive social impact. DD India's Tripti Tripathi gets us more.
Imagine buying a metro ticket in just seconds, that too on your phone. Well, that's just one of the many examples of India's rapid digital transformation. Let's get you more on how India is in the midst of a digital revolution.
In recent years, India has undergone a remarkable digital transformation. Government services are now seamlessly integrated into digital platforms, making access quick and efficient at the grassroots levels.
Instant account opening, instant loan disbursement, instant money transfer. Right. So most of the things in India is happening digitally, and instant is the keyword. The banks have gone a step ahead and using more AI, ML and blockchain to make their transaction and usage for the user quite friendly.
Milestones like Jan Dhan accounts, Aadhaar and UPI have empowered millions, ensuring financial inclusion and access to essential services. With over 1.37 billion Aadhaar numbers issued and UPI transactions of over 645 billion USD, the impact is staggering. 110 million farmers now receive direct payments, surpassing the population of Canada and France combined. Tools like DigiLocker offer secure document management, while initiatives like Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, CoWIN and eSanjeevani have connected stakeholders across the healthcare ecosystems, providing access to essential health services.
Bhashni, as you know, is a program to transcend the language barrier. The way it has helped in Digital India is phenomenal. Not only it is basically solving the basic problem of the language divide which exists in the country and creating the artificial intelligence models for the 22 languages, it has also democratized the data sets which have been created in the process of developing these AI models. And also the AI models have been open source. The idea is to democratize the artificial intelligence technology paradigm for the next generation Digital India.
India's digital ecosystem is now a global model. Through India's Tag Global, platforms like Aadhaar, UPI and DigiLocker are showcased worldwide.
From local to global, India's journey on becoming a developed nation by 2047 is well on tracks, with digital innovation at its heart. This is Tripti Tripathi reporting for DD India.
Come August and the sky above Delhi is littered with colourful kites. Now kite flying, especially on the country's Independence Day, is not just a hobby for the people of Delhi, it's a tradition. DD India's Nupur Praveen explores the back alleys of the old Delhi, in fact, to bring us the special report. Take a look.
In the narrow alleys of old Delhi, a world of vibrant shades takes shape. Amid the soaring spirit of independence, the August sky comes alive with multicolored kites swaying and dancing across the horizon, emphasizing the sentiments of freedom. Delhi's kite flying tradition is not recent. It dates back centuries to the Mughal era, when Emperor Shah Jahan introduced this Persian art form. The tradition continues as an integral part of the subcontinent's culture. Kite flying may be a hobby or a sport in most parts of India, but for people in old Delhi, it is an emotion that is on full display every year on 15th August, that is our Independence Day. These local kite shops are a hub of activity as citizens prepare for Independence Day.
We put the kite shop for 15 days every year during this time. People come from far and wide to buy kites. This part of Delhi is called Lal Kuan and is famous for its kite market.
I'm the third generation, while my son is the fourth generation running a kite shop.
Delhi's Kite Festival is unlike anywhere else. Following the flag hoisting ceremony at Red Fort, the city's skies are filled with kites.
During the freedom struggle, kite flying put on a different spin, one of defiance against foreign rule. Kites were laced with slogans: Simon go back, quit India, Jai Hind, soared high in the heart of Delhi. and across the hinterland. The British would crack down. Kites with anti-colonial slogans were banned. But that couldn't suppress the patriotic spirit.
78 years पहले जो
These are celebrations of our freedom struggle.
We are celebrating freedom.
To date, these kites are a reminder of the spirit, grit and glory of our freedom struggle. For a country as diverse as India, everyone has their unique ways of celebrating our independence. For people of Delhi, it's the kites that sing the sweetest song of liberty. So do check out the skies as people of Delhi celebrate our 78th Independence Day in their unique way. With camera person Saurav Bakshi, this is Nupur Praveen reporting for DD India in Delhi.
And now we take a look at other stories making it to the headlines from across India. Major iconic historical buildings and places of national importance across the country radiate with glory ahead of the 78th Independence Day to be celebrated on August 15. Iconic monuments and buildings across the national capital also lit up in tricolour ahead of the 78th Independence Day. The Uttar Pradesh Vidhan Sabha and iconic Charbagh railway station in northern Indian city of Lucknow illuminated in tricolour ahead of the 78th Independence Day. The ancient Martand Sun temple in Jammu Kashmir's Anantnag district has been illuminated with tricolours of the Indian flag for the first time in history as part of the Independence Day celebrations. Down south, historic Golconda Fort in Hyderabad is also lit up in tricolour theme ahead of the 78th Independence Day. India's net direct tax collection grew 22.5% to $83 billion between 1st April and 11th of August of the current fiscal. As per the data released by the country's income tax department on Monday, net personal income tax has outpaced net corporation tax in the latest tax collection figures. Net personal income tax reached $53.8 billion as compared to $41.4 billion during the same period last year. All right, on to sports now. The Court of Arbitration for Sport extended the decision on Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat's appeal to be awarded the joint silver medal in women's 50 kg freestyle category, postponed to August 16. Now, it was earlier announced that the verdict will be made public on August 13th, and this is the second time that the announcement has been delayed. Vinesh was disqualified from the gold medal bout against eventual winner Sarah Hildebrandt of US as she was found 100 grams above the prescribed limit. Vinesh appealed to the CAS and demanded a joint silver medal alongside Guzman Lopez, who replaced her for the final bout following the disqualification. French soccer player Kylian Mbappe could make his debut for Real Madrid when they face Atalanta in the Super Cup on Wednesday. Mbappe started training with the team since last week after he had joined Real as a free agent on a 5-year deal in June, ending a transfer saga that rumbled on for years. However, coach Carlo Ancelotti would not be drawn on whether the French forward would start the game, but did not rule out the Frenchman making an appearance at the same stage. Real, who have clinched 5 Super Cups so far, have a chance to become the standalone leaders of the competition ahead of Barcelona and AC Milan, who have also won 5 times. All right, that's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.